Happy moon cycle, my friend. We're coming into or moving through the full moon in Virgo, which is Friday. Spring equinox is tomorrow. There's all kinds of other astrological things going on, and really needed to fulfill this practice, fulfill this creation. This practice is in your hoop, so make sure you have a hoop. I'll introduce myself. My name is Kate Frauchi. I am an eclectic spiritual guide who uses movement as alchemy to erase the boxes, embrace the flow, and germinate your life of beautiful experiences, mind, body, and soul. So that's what we're doing today. Stepping into the hoop, channeling some of that full moon Virgo energy, rooting, grounding, and exploring the agreement of don't make assumptions. So I invite you to get your space set. I obviously have a little cup of tea and I have my hoop. If you'd like to come to seated, we're just going to share a little bit about what's going on in the Virgo full moon and a little bit of 4 agreements wisdom. I also am selfishly recording this class because I need to move my body, and I created a riverbed, so why not flow through it? So the full moon in Virgo, this is really can be uncomfortable energy for certain signs, and really in this energy is cultivating the courage to ask questions. So Virgo energy is grounding earth energy. It's curious, it's critical, engaged. Virgo energy sharpens our minds and nerves and motivates us to get to action. So if you've been feeling it necessary with this spring coming to clean, organize, do that kind of stuff, do it, lean into that. Spring equinox also is a time to cleanse, clean, organize, edit, weed, heal, starting to emerge into a new season, clearing the way for a really beautiful experience through this turn of the wheel. So in this practice today, we're going to call in that energy of the Virgo full moon. We're going to call in the rebirth of spring equinox and the medicine of movement to align, to center, to ground, and to expand. So don't make assumptions is the agreement that is kind of aligning with this full moon energy. As we've been moving through these winter/spring full moon full hoop practices, each month I have been pairing an agreement from the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Let me show you when I check a tech. Okay, so 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, wisdom, guidance, a lot of really great personal freedom jewels in this book. So don't make assumptions. In this Virgo energy, we're supported to stop making assumptions and have the courage to ask questions. That way we can work more intentionally. We can work more productively, and we can work more mindfully towards the goals and live our daily life in our intentions. It's so important. You don't just set intentions and forget about them. We live them every day. During this time, we can invoke that Virgorian energy of compassion and brilliant problem solving as we seek the truth, as we cultivate the courage to ask questions, avoiding assuming anything, and have the courage to ask the questions, but also have the courage to receive the loving truth, right? That's part of the reason why sometimes we don't ask questions, is because we are kind of afraid to hear the truth. So in turn, that alchemizes, you can take that truth and turn it into action for the highest and greatest good of all. So it's really the energy that I want you to move with in your practice today. You've done the hardest part by showing up, you push play, and you're devoted to this time for yourself and exploring. So reading a couple of pieces from the 4 agreements. It is very interesting how the human mind works. We have the need to justify everything, to explain and understand everything in order to feel safe. We have millions of questions that need answers because there are so many things that the reasoning mind cannot explain. It is not important if the answer is correct, just the answer itself makes us feel safe. Sounds familiar? This is why we make assumptions. If others tell us something, we make assumptions. And if they don't tell us something, we make assumptions to fulfill our need to know and to replace the need to communicate. Even if we hear something and we don't understand, we make assumptions about what it means and then believe the assumptions. We make all sorts of assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask questions. These assumptions are made so fast and unconsciously most of the time because we have agreements to communicate this way. We have agreed that it is not safe to ask questions. We have agreed that if people love us, they should know what we want or how we feel. When we believe something, we assume we are right about it to the point that we will destroy relationships in order to defend our position. We make the assumption that everyone sees life the way that we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we judge, and abuse the way we abuse. This is the biggest assumption that humans make. And this is why we have fear of being ourselves around others, because we think everyone else will judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us as we do ourselves. So even before others have a chance to reject us, we have already rejected ourselves. That is the way the human mind works. So think about that. When you have made assumptions, you assume something that the other person believes, right? And you didn't have the courage to ask the question, and it creates this whole story in your mind. And then this story becomes a belief. And then that belief is what you act from. And then come to find out that's not at all what the person thought, but then you have a hard time actually believing them because you've created a story in your brain. This is all about what the 4 agreements is about, is breaking those agreements, breaking those subconscious programmings and choosing freedom and choosing to be free of these things like judgment and the pain and suffering of that separation. And so not making assumptions is really important. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. Make sure the communication is clear. If you don't understand, ask. Have the courage to ask questions until you are clear as you can be. And even then, do not assume that you know there is all to know about a given situation. Once you hear the answer, you will not have to make assumptions because you know the truth. Also, you will find your voice to ask for what you want. Everybody has the right to tell you no or yes, but you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everybody has the right to ask you, and you have the right to say yes or no. If you don't understand something, it is better for you to ask to be clear instead of making an assumption. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly, free of emotional poison, without making assumptions. Your word becomes impeccable. And that's another agreement, is be impeccable with your word. And so all these kind of play into each other, but looking at them separately really helps us to understand how we operate in this way in our lives and how we can choose differently. And, it's a practice, right? It's a practice. Practice makes progress. I used to make all kinds of assumptions about everything. Do I still make assumptions? Yeah, that's a really hardwired programming that most of us have. But as we become aware of the opportunity to ask questions, that it is safe to ask questions, to receive the truth lovingly, whether it's yes or no, or whatever it is, and, being able to alchemize that, right? Alchemize the truth that we receive to take action. So when we don't make assumptions, when we communicate clearly, the path becomes clearer as to which way we should go. So yummy tea. Taking the action over and over again strengthens your will, nurtures the seed, and establishes a solid foundation for the new habit to grow. After many repetitions, these new agreements will become second nature, and you will see how the magic of your word transforms you from a Black magician into a white magician. The white magician uses the word for creation, giving, sharing, and loving. By making this one agreement a habit, your whole life will be completely transformed. When you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because spirit moves freely through you. This is the mastery of intent, the mastery of the spirit, the mastery of love, the mastery of gratitude, and the mastery of life. This is the goal of the Toltec. This is the path of personal freedom. So just take a moment here and inhale. Let all of that wisdom land where it may. Let it flow through you. And then let's go ahead and find our way to centered pose and start to flow with the body and the wisdom of the Virgo full moon and the agreement of don't make assumptions. Go ahead and get some music started as you find your way to standing in the center of your hoop. Maybe you want to do a little standing forward fold to kind of loosen things up before you rise up and come to standing. Get some music started for us and we'll get rolling. Okay, from standing, let's get into the center of your hoop. Set up your centered pose, aligning into the center of your personal universe, creating a connection between mind, body, and soul to be present for your practice, to let this movement be the magic alchemizer to not only cultivate the courage to ask questions, but to just remember that there's this quiet and still place that you can return to at any time. You will hear the wisdom of the guidance of your body, your mind, and your soul. Rooting the feet down into centered pose, hip width distance apart, knees are bent, pelvis is tucked. Heart aligns over the hips, roll the shoulders up and back. Chin parallel with the earth. Crown open, receiving, shoulders relaxed. As you root into your centered pose, we're going to set some intentions for this circle, for this practice, and for this space. Go ahead and just follow along with me. You can repeat after me out loud if you feel called to. As I breathe with grace and ease, and I open up to a deeper knowing of myself on all levels. It is safe for me to be me. It is safe for me to feel. It is safe for me to move. I am supported to rise and shine to my full capacity. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale, root more deeply into the posture of present moment awareness, the center of your personal universe. Big breath in. Hold those intentions and then let it settle into your being. Exhale out any resistance. Now, as you settle into your breath, allow it to be easy, big, full, long inhales. Slow, emptying, releasing exhales. Fill up the belly and then fill up the chest and empty out. Give yourself some time to fully arrive here in your practice. And repeat after me in your head. I am now choosing to cleanse myself and release any and all thought forms, beings, situations, and energies that are no longer of service to the highest and greatest good. Across all planes of my existence, across all universes, and across all lifetimes. I ask that all energies that are less than love be transmuted for the highest good of all. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Nice big inhale again. Pausing at the top. Letting it go. Start with your breathing lifts. Inhale, lift. Hands on the inside of the hoop, shoulders relax. Knees still bent, still rooted into that centered pose. Continue to inhale and exhale, breathing lifts. Take some time here to really root and ground. So as you lift and inhale, relax the shoulders, expand in the breath. And then as you exhale, lower down and imagine roots starting to settle down into the earth. Really see how far down you can ground. Continue to inhale, breathe up, reaching for that nourishment of the sun, the sky, the elements, and then drawing it down, sending the roots a little bit deeper. Keep going. Keep sending the roots deeper. Feel yourself root and ground into the earth. You're gonna need it. Just a few more here. This time as you inhale, lift and push east and west on the hoop. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you pull down. It's kind of like a little lat pull. Inhale, lift the hoop, raise the arms, relax the shoulders, and then push east and west. One more time. Moving on to side arch flow. Arching to the side after you lift the hoop up. Keep the pelvis tucked. Keep the heart and the hips aligned. You're hinging at the waist. You're opening through this side body. Each exhale allows you to release, open up through that side body. Sometimes this is known as kind of opening up to being vulnerable. In order to ask questions, sometimes we do have to be vulnerable. We have to admit something that we don't know. A bit of courage that we have to cultivate for that as well, right? So take the time here to let the body know. Inhale and exhale, side arch flow, that it is okay, safe to be vulnerable. It's safe to open to the unknown. I read in a card somewhere that it says adventuring is a type of permission that we give ourselves to cross over from the familiar to the unfamiliar. Keep going with your side arch flow. Inhale, lift to the top, and then exhale back down to centered pose. Roll the shoulders up and back a few times here. Roll the shoulders forward. Pedal out the legs and shake it out. You've now fully arrived in your practice. So let's go back to the beginning. Root into the centered pose. Feel that connection that you created in the earth, that grounding earth energy. Drawing up the Virgoian compassion and the curious, critical, engaged energy. Lift up the hoop and lift all of that energy up and into your being. Inhale. Call upon that courage, that divine source energy to protect and support you. To cultivate the courage to ask questions. Exhale, lower the hoop down, and then lift up again. Drop all that good earth energy. Connect it to the sky. As you exhale and lower down this time, get ready to head towards the side arch flow again. Inhale, lift the hoop, keep in that centered pose, and then also make sure here we're gonna arch and then push east and west, just like we did before. Inhale, lift the hoop. Exhale, arch to the side. Pushing east and west, and then inhaling, relax the shoulders. Exhale, there we go. Beautiful, one more time. Awesome, inhale, lift up. Let's do some halos around the world. I'll back up so you can kind of see what that looks like. I'm sorry, centered pose. pelvis tucked, heart aligned over the hips, and you're literally just rotating the hoop around that internal column in your heart, taking it the other direction. The arms are extended, but the shoulders are relaxed. The shoulders really like to creep up on this one. And then go ahead and come back into centered pose. Root the feet into the earth, bend the knees, tuck the pelvis, roll the shoulders up and back. Take a few inhales and exhales and notice the activations in your body. Notice any sensations that you can feel, either in the physical body or the energetic body. And then lift the hoop up, step the feet out wide. We're headed towards around the world. So make sure you have a nice fluidity in the knees. As you arch to one side, then bring the hoop all the way around, bend, navel to spine, chin to chest, and then as you extend and inhale, engage the core. Extend the arms and relax the shoulders. Nice big inhales. Nice big exhales. Make sure you're moving safely in your body as we move through this practice today. Feel free to modify as needed. If it feels good to just sit, watch, and breathe, you're still doing it. You're still here. You're still allowing space for your body, mind, and soul to connect, rest, and revitalize. Maybe as you're doing your around the world, this bow is an honor to that rest that we need, surrendering into rest with a sense of ownership, knowing that it is in rest that we cultivate the strength to shine again. Go ahead and switch directions. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Keep that awareness in the body, moving safely, pushing down through the feet, supporting yourself with that really good grounded rootedness in the earth that you created just a few breaths ago. Inhale, exhale, coming back up to center, and then taking a wide-legged forward fold. So arch back just a little bit, open the heart, and then go and hinge at the waist. Bring the head towards the earth. Paddle the legs out, and bend them side to side. Shake the head, yes or no. Woo. Find any spaces in the body that are trying to hold tension and breathe it out. Forward, grab the hoop, bend through the feet, point the tailbone down as you start to engage the core and come back up. Heel toe the feet closer together and return into your centered pose. Root the feet, bend the knees, tuck the pelvis, align the heart over the hips, align into your center of your personal universe, into centered pose. And again, just breathing here for a few moments. Up through the feet to the top of the crown, back down. Sweet. Let's continue to move with centered twists. You step your foot out, you point your toe and you twist. You're stepping and you're twisting from the foot up to the crown, not twisting out from the hip, okay? So that really creates a lot more stability for you to stretch and open this hip flexor. You can just feel how tight mine are today. So I'm gonna take it really nice and slow, nice big inhale. The breath for this, once you start to kind of get into flow, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, twist, inhale, center. Yes, keep going. Couple more centered twists. Awesome. Building just some really nice detoxifying heat. Doing a little spring cleaning in that abdominal region. Beautiful. Go ahead and start to slow your roll. Plant the feet and just sway a little bit. Woo. Feel the invigoration of that movement as you start to feel the slowing of your own momentum back into center pose. Root into your center pose. Roll the shoulders up and back. Bend the knees, tuck the pelvis, align. Center, ground, expand the space of peace within your group, within your personal universe. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Breathe. Be present to this moment. We're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to take the affirmation and declaration of life is awesome. Oh, yes, it is. But we're going to add it to our inspired lifts. So we're just getting warmed up here to move through the rest of our practice. And so I just think this would be fun. So go ahead and take an inhale and an exhale. And as you step out and lift the hoop, let's proclaim life is awesome. Exhale and twist. Oh, yes, it is. Life is awesome. Oh, yes, it is. Life is awesome. Oh, yes, it is. One more time. Life is awesome. Yes, it is. Go ahead and do a couple of twists here. And just know that sometimes it really doesn't feel like life is awesome. Sometimes we have a hard time believing that. I even noticed today as I'm struggling to believe that. I know that in my heart that in this now moment, all is well and anything is possible. So root back into your center here, root back into centered pose, roll the shoulders up and back. And before we take this inspired lift with our declaration and affirmation to the other side, why don't we take a moment to cultivate some gratitude? Taking a moment here, finding what you're grateful for right now. I'm grateful for the warming temperatures. I'm grateful for the shifting of the spring energies, the illumination of the full moon. I'm grateful for the challenges that are illuminated that I have the opportunity to move through in order to expand, grow, heal, and share. I am grateful for this practice, and I am grateful for showing up. Grateful for you for just showing up, because nothing changes if nothing changes. Step that foot up to the side. Life is awesome. And exhale. Oh, yes, it is. Life is awesome. Oh, yes, it is. Life is awesome. Yeah, it is. Life is awesome. Oh, yes, it is. Swirl in your center here. And then I'm going to invite you to go ahead and take a little drink if you need one. And we're going to move into a little bit of balance. Just a simple tree pose today in that energy of Earth, Virgo. Root into the foot. Do not allow your hip to go out to the side. Think of this really nice, strong tree trunk, and you're being supported by the other side. So you're going to kind of squeeze the glutes together as you open up this other side here. I'm standing on my left. My right kickstand. We'll do both sides, so it doesn't matter. Make sure that your heel is rested above your ankle. Roll the shoulders up and back so you can kind of create a little bit of engagement through the core. Imagine kind of zipping up, squeezing the shoulders together, opening your glutes, not opening the front hips as you squeeze the glutes together. Find your balance space. So maybe it's here between the knee and the ankle. Maybe it's up here. Maybe you want to try something like that. That actually feels kind of good for me today. Gives me a little extra challenge. Find your tree pose. Find your drishti or your focal point. and breathe. If you want to squat down into that, otherwise just go ahead and let it go. Shake the leg out. Shake yourself out a little bit. Maybe grab another drink. Coming to the other side. Root into that right foot. Set it up just like you did on the other side. Root, and I notice I'm like, woo, way out there. Just squeeze, align, roll the shoulder blades up and back, engage the core as I squeeze the shoulders together and the glutes together, and then just finding your space. Deep breaths here. Go ahead and release your tree and shake it out. All right, we're gonna build a little bit of heat here before we are done. We don't generally do a lot of waist hooping in these full moon, full hoop practices, but we doing it today. We're gonna start out with the Pele Goddess Vinyasa. Set the feet out nice and wide. Make sure that as you squat, that you can still see your toes, and you're squatting so that the knees aren't turning and the knees are coming out, so you're kind of squeezing the glutes together. So just go down as far as it feels comfortable, right? And then when you find the arms, you're gonna find those goddess arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together, kind of like a cactus arms. Tailbones pointed down. And inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Last one. Keep those shoulders squeezed, this chest open, keep the core engaged as you squat down. This time with the left heel and then the right heel. And lift back up. All right, so here's the next challenge. See if you can start the hoop. Get your arms up. Inhale and exhale. Remember, we're going side to side. And the worst thing that can happen is you can drop the hoop and then you can pick it back up. Also, really loose clothing is not helpful for this. So let me readjust. And then we'll go ahead and try the other side. So this is just a little bit of an extra challenge today to get your hoop going. If you don't want to try and get your hoop going, put your hoop on the ground and just go side to side. Still doing the, and this side is a lot harder for me. So just a couple of Pele Goddess squats here. Hoop going one way or the other. And again, if this is not accessible for you right now, all you have to do see how I'm keeping my core engaged. It's kind of like a, all right, awesome. All right, inhale all the way up. Inhale back down. We're gonna do a couple of spiral ins and spiral outs to each side. So spiraling in and spiraling out. You're planting your seeds in your hoop. You're living and using the movement to let the body tell the story of the season to come. Come back to center and then start to take your spiral in and spiral out in the other direction. What is illuminating as you breathe, as you break free of making assumptions, and have the courage to engage and expand into the outer world. So just take some time here, moving safely with your spiral ins and spiral outs. Tell the story of this new season of rebirth. Beautiful. So now I want you to come back to waist hooping. We're not done yet. Go ahead and waist hoop in your dominant direction. Inhale, open the arms. We're gonna do some wingspan hugs. We're gonna call on the sun. Higher. Inhale, open. Exhale. Whew. Give yourself a hug. Squat down. Hit the chest, navel to spine. Keep the hoop going. Inhale, open. Call on that earth, the Virgo grounding energy. Exhale. Opposite arm over the top. Inhale. Call on that water to cleanse the earth. Create fertile grounds for this new season. Yes. And then call on the air. Clear, clear, illuminate, transmute. Inhale, open the arms. And if you're familiar with switching sides like this, you can, or just grab the hoop and switch sides to your non-dominant direction. So really creating a lot of bilateral communication in the brain as we're communicating our intentions out loud and with our body. It's magical. So call on the sun. Fire, illuminate. Exhale, wrap it around. Open it up again. Call on the earth. Root those feet. Push down into those feet, that earthing energy. Connect with the roots that you laid at the beginning of your practice. And then close. Keep it going. Inhale, open. Call on that water. Imagine beautiful waterfall. Divine water energy. Cleansing, nourishing, sustaining. Exhale, close. Stay with it. Inhale, open. Calling on the air to clear, to illuminate, transmute. Close. Woo! Go ahead and open the arms. Give yourself props for wherever you landed today in that practice. Heel toe the feet together. Take yourself into that rooted posture of present moment awareness. Root the feet down, bend the knees, tuck the pelvis, blend the heart over the hips. Inhale the hoop up overhead. Open, shine the heart. Exhale, bring the hoop down. We're moving into a standing cat-cow with the hoop, so make sure you stay in that aligned posture of present moment awareness. Lift the hoop up. Bring the hoop to the hands to the outside of the hoop. Bring the hoop in front of you like a portal and start to squat a little bit so that you keep the spine aligned and the tailbone down. Inhale, arch through the shoulders. Exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale, exhale. As you finish your last cat-cow, go ahead and straighten the legs. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, exhale. Pedal the legs out. Feel the feet rooted in the earth. And then go ahead and bring yourself down to tabletop. You can do this in the hoop or outside of the hoop, whatever you choose. You come into tabletop, make sure that you have your shoulders and your wrists aligned and your hips, your knees aligned. All right. Go we're taking that cat-cow here in the earth. Fingertips are spread wide, and the tops of the feet are rested into the mat. As you arch the back and dry, navel in, the chin to the chest, push it through the arms, and then exhale, drop in the belly, crown, tailbone. Try and tuck as you look up. I think you got this. Take a few really good breaths and rotations here. Back out. That probably feels pretty good after your practice today. Hopefully your breath is starting to slow, coming to a more rested rhythm. And as you finish your cat-cows, come into child's pose. Take 3 cleansing breaths in your child's pose. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Few more breaths here in child's pose, just letting the body come into this really beautiful state of rest and revival. As you rise from your child's pose, come into an easy seated pose. Sorry, my tech skills are lacking today. So you're in your easy seated pose. We're just coming into that space of stillness, of rootedness, aligning the heart over the hips. Legs are relaxed. Seated in your sacred circle, which you've now infused with all kinds of beautiful energies. The energy of acceptance and being able to receive the loving truth, which helps to cultivate the courage to ask questions, to not make assumptions, which is a path to personal freedom. As you take an inhale and an exhale, as you breathe deeply here, I just want you to imagine again yourself rooting into the earth. Make sure over these next few days and weeks that you are grounding every chance you get. Get outside, put your feet in the earth, be outside, ground, intentionally sit with a tree. Imagine your roots diving deep into the earth. The stronger the roots, the sweeter the fruits. Tend to your soil conditions. Tend to your own self-care and nourishment, and your fruits will be abundant and plenty. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale the arms up overhead. Palms meet, draw down into heart center. Again, inhaling the arms up overhead, palms meet, heart center. And one last time, inhaling the arms up overhead, palms meet. And as you draw into heart center, just kind of push into that heart center just a little bit. May we be safe and protected. May we be healthy and nourished. May we love and be loved, and may we truly be happy. May your practice bring you peace, and may you share this peace with the world. Namaste. All right, well, thank you for joining me for this practice, this full moon practice, exploring those Virgo energies and how we can use them to our advantage, how the third agreement of don't make assumptions can help support us in all of that and all that we do to have our own personal freedom, and thus creating more peace within and sharing it with others, thus creating more peace in the world. So really, it's pretty awesome. And if you have not checked out the other videos, this will be video number 3. So we've covered 2 other agreements already. You can check those out in this YouTube channel. So with that being said, I look forward to finishing this 4 agreements series in a month in April. We'll be looking at the last agreement, moving with the last full moon of quote unquote, the winter / spring season. And then there'll be all kinds of outdoor and in-person opportunities because, well, it's nice out and I want to be outside. I love being in the Bat Cave. I love being able to come on and have the opportunity to record and share this with whoever it might need. So if it reached you today, I hope that you received what you needed. And I'm always here for further discussion, for further support, and just as even a sister to witness you in your challenges and in your triumphs. So that's me.